Hi everyone, it's Peg, and today I am filming for day 16 of Art Journal Habit 2018. It's a challenge, month-long challenge from Art Joy Sharing, and today the prompt is movement. Well, I started thinking about movement, because it has a number of different meanings, and let me just pull some up here for you. It is the act, process, or result of moving, particular manner or style of moving, actions of activities, military, naval movements, abundance of events or incidences, rapid progression of events. In fine art, the suggestion of motion in a work of art, either by representing gesture in figurative paintings or sculpture, or by relationship of structural elements in the design or composition. A progressive development of ideas towards a particular conclusion, the movement of his thoughts, a series of actions, of activities intended or intending towards a particular end. Yeah, okay, goes on and on and on. I'm only halfway through all of the descriptive stuff. So I thought about the rhythmic structure. I thought about movement that we achieve in these designs that we create when we're gel printing, because I think of these circular things as movement. I also tend to think of, just the movement of paint, the swatching back and forth. Here is paint where I've peeled it apart, and yes, it has movement because it's where it's been peeled apart. So to that end, especially, here's one what I've done with one of my favorite. I think this was one of my very first stencil purchases. I don't even know who makes it. I think it might be Plaid or, oh, wait a minute. I do see something on here. It says it is a, could it be? It's a Deco Art. Yay! It's a Deco Art stencil, but I was reading it backwards because the only thing that I can still see down here is this little thing here, and it's on there backwards. I don't know if I can make it any more visible for you guys or not. Take some of that paint off. So it says it is, yeah, 201412. Must be a part number. Anyway, so this was one of my very first favorite stencils. It's a 12 by 12. And so, I showed you some paper that I had. And what I did was I took a piece of that gel printed paper like this. And this is just some really ugly scrapbook paper from football. I don't even know anybody that plays football, so I don't know why I have football paper. But, somebody might have given it to me, or it might have come in a pack or something. So I gel printed on there. And then I glued it down to my paper. And then, one of the things that I wanted to do was to come back in, because this is very dark, come back in with this stencil that has all this movement on it. And I have these are facial makeup brushes, okay? And they're very fine. They have a very fine texture to them. You can wash them out. And I wanted to pick up a little bit of gesso. So I have some Deco Art Media gesso right here, because gesso covers really well. And I just want to get a little bit of that on the tip and work it in. And then I'll come over to my craft mat and work it in a little bit more, so that you see I just have the bristles showing. And then what I want to do is add some of that gesso onto my page to get a little more of this motion thing going on. And I don't really want it to, the design to stand out all that much. I just want the it to blend into that background a little bit. So let's see how we're doing. Yeah, okay. So you see it's lightened this up quite a bit. There's a little bit extra here. So I'm just going to take my tool and blend that out because it's still a little damp. And I want a dry page. I want a dry page. And I might even see if I can pick up a little bit more of that. It's really gotten dry in a hurry. See if I can blend out some more. I'm going to come back to this and just soften a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to, now that this has got paint in it, I'm going to drop it in some water because I need to wash that out after a bit. So I've done that, and you can see the movement going on here on the page. Now the next thing that I did, speaking of movement, I think about fast movement, and someone had sent me this tissue paper. I don't know who it was. You know, I get happy mail. I enjoy what was wrapped in it. I enjoy the tissue paper, and I move on because I can't remember what every piece is that I get. But what I did is I cut out the bird and the flower, just like this. I cut out the bird and the flower. And then what I do is I coat the very back of that with gesso because I don't want this to disappear on the page. You can see if I put this down, it's going to blend in with the page quite a bit. So what I want to do is now get my matte medium, Art matte medium here, and a brush. And I'm just going to take some matte medium, have the flower. So let's start up here with that. Get that. What I want to do is get this hummingbird, because hummingbird is always in motion, right? I want to get this hummingbird in motion, going to the flower. And I coated that flower on the back also. So I'll put that down with matte medium, and then I will come in on top of this and add my little hummingbird going in for his drink of nectar. And my pretty little flower. We have hummingbirds here in the summer, and they're so fun to watch. They work my coral bells. And, you know, coral bells have flower blossoms all the way up and down the stem. So I will dry that off after I put that in water. Okay, so now that this is pretty much dry, I'm just going to come in with some Posca pens and do a little bit of illustration here to add to my overall composition. I have some other products I want to add. So we'll see how this goes. Get his little proboscis, or whatever you want to call it, bill. I guess his bill. Come down the body and the tail. Get him outlined a bit. And then I want to emphasize the motion of the wings. So I brought out a couple of different products here. So here's this wing. All right. And what I want this to say is, let's see, I had an idea. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Oh, yes. I want to say, and I think I'll put that right down here at the bottom, is with brave wings. She flies. And I'll come back and highlight that a little bit more. It's still pretty wet. I don't want to stick my hand in it. So I'll just hit that with a heat tool really quickly. So what I want to show you is I have a couple of products. One is this Novu Glimmer paste, and the other is the Winkostella. And I think the Winkostella would be okay because what it does is it gives a nice little glimmer to the surface it hits. So I'm going to put just a little bit of that on the ruby throat and the wing. And I'll dry that off quickly so you can see the effect. I don't know if you guys can see the glint off of that, just a little bit. It's very subtle, but I think I want something for the motion to be a little bit more so. So if you look at the wings of a hummingbird, they're always in motion. They're always in motion. And what I want to represent is that flight or that motion that goes on from their wings. So I'm gonna grab a little bit on the tip of my finger, and I want to, you know, get a little bit of that wing motion, flight pattern going. A little under here, because they hover and they, you know, go up and down. So I think get just a little bit more in there. All right. I think that's what I'm after. Let me see if I can show you guys the effect. If I get it up here by the camera, I might be able to. And then again, it might just take, I might have to actually try to get it captured in photograph. Because, you know, sparkly stuff on video just doesn't work real well. But trying to get it off my finger. Have a baby wipe here. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, you can see that little bit of shimmer. Just a little hint of that. So I'll come back with my Posca. I'm going to thicken this up a bit. There, that's looking a little bit better to me. And then this is the, I think, medium. This is the small Posca. Come back and hit this one more time to darken that white line on that dark background. And that'll be it for day 16. And I hope you enjoyed this for motion, and I hope you're joining us. Remember, if you want to join the Facebook group, you do need to answer the questions, because we need to know you're not a robot or, you know, some kind of scammer or something. So we do ask that you answer the questions as you request to join. We will not add people for other people either. You need to make your own request. So have brave wings. Fly. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, guys.